Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to work on the Interlace Mother's Day earring to go with the bracelet from the last video. So here's the bracelet for those of you who haven't seen it, and I'm going to put a link up there and in the description box below the video to these pieces because we're going to do a necklace too, so you'll have all three pieces if you like. So if you haven't seen this yet, you can go take a look at it. So I'm going to pull the bracelet aside for now. So here's the earring, and it's sticking together. It's a component. I'm taking the large component from the bracelet, and then I added a smaller component on the top. So here it is in the silver, and then I just wanted to show you, this is the one we're going to make today. This is the Amethyst, and the back on this has been beaded, so that it's kind of pretty. So it looks pretty from the front and back. And then I found this one, this black Rivoli that wasn't foiled. So you could actually, if you had two Rivolis that weren't foiled, you could probably reverse it because it's kind of a pretty design on the back. All right, so that being said, I'm going to clear the decks, get a materials list going, and we'll get started. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So before I do that, I just wanted to tell you that if I'm going to put some timestamps up where I start the materials list, where I start the beading the larger Rivoli, and where I start beading the smaller Rivoli. Because if you've already done this, the other video has this already done, but I figured I would do it for those of you who are just making the earring and you want it all in one place. So I'll do both and I'll put timestamps in. All right, so you need a 10.5 millimeter, two 10.5 millimeter Rivolis, two 14 millimeter Rivolis. You'll need some 11.0 Delicas, and I'm using the metallic 18 karat hammered gold plated hex Delicas. I love these hex Delicas. They work beautifully, but a regular Delica will work as well. You'll need some 15.0 seed beads, and I'm using this dark bronze. You'll need a couple of ear wires. You'll need, oh I forgot this, you'll need a couple of Bicones, and I'm only putting one out. Let me grab another one. So you need a couple of Bicones, and that's for the connection on the earring. So let me put that out. 1, 2, and I'll take the one away for now. Ideally, your colors will look good together. I'm just putting these out so you have the, if you're just looking at it, you have the number of beads you need, right now. Okay, 2 ear wires. I'm using some Leverbacks. You'll need some Fireline. I'm using 8-pound black satin. Any color that goes well with your project is great. I like the black satin because it recedes. The white kind of comes forward. This way it recedes, and so you don't see the thread. You need a stop bead, a size 11 and a 12. Don't forget that size 12 beading needle because we're going through some tiny beads here and you're going to need it. All right, so that's what you're going to need. So don't forget, before I go, that everything, all materials and colors will be listed in the description box below the video. So don't forget to click the down arrow or the show more. The box will open and you will find a list of all materials. Also bead websites that I like, coupon codes for the No More Oops Bead Tray, coupon codes for ring berries, for this big Velux bead mat that I love so much. So take advantage of those if you need them. Okay, I'm going to get all this cleared off and then we'll get started. Okay, let's start with the big component. So thread your needle with about 30 inches of thread, put on a stop bead, and leave about a 10-inch tail, 10 to 12 inches. We're going to use that tail to sew the front of the bezel. So here I've put on my needle and dropped down to my stop bead, 7 Delicas and 1 15.0, and I did that 4 times. So 7 Delicas, 1 15.0, 7 Delicas, 1 15.0, 7 Delicas, 1 15.0, and 7 Delicas, 1 15.0. I'm going to make those into a circle by sewing through the first Delica past my stop bead. This is what I have. Like that. Now I'm going to pick up one Delica, exiting the first Delica, skip the next one, sew through the following one. So just our peyote bezel, regular peyote bezel. Pick up another Delica, skip the next Delica, sew through the following one. Pick up a Delica, skip this one, sew through the next one. Now you're going to pick up two 15-0s. You're going to skip that next 15-0 and sew through the next Delica. Just like that. That's what we have. So now you're just going to repeat that all the way around till a couple of beads before the end, and then we'll step up. Okay, coming down to the end. So this final corner, so here I'm putting on that last Delica. I'm going to pick up two 15-0s. So now we're going to step up. So I'm going to skip this 15-0 right there. I'm going to sew through the next Delica and the one on the diagonal. Let me get my needle and then I'll move my hand out of the way. Just like that. There you have it. Let's continue. Now we're going to pick up an 11-0 Delica. So for the next Delica, again, put on another one. Now you're going to put a 15-0 in between the two 15-0s in the corner. It's like that. And you're just going to do that all the way around. One 15-0. So go on around and then we'll come back and step up again. Okay, coming to the end. So here I'm putting that, I'm sewing in that one 15-0 between the two 15-0s. Then I'm going to pick up a Delica and I'm going to skip this one and sew through this one and the one on the diagonal. Go. This is what we have. Let's keep going. Pick up a Delica, sew through the next Delica, pick up a Delica, sew through the next one. Now you're going to pick up a 15-0, sew through that 15-0, pick up another 15-0, sew through the Delica. So here we've put on two 15-0s in the corner. So just keep doing that all the way around and then we'll continue. Okay, coming around the end, so here, so I've put on my last 15-0, I'm going to step up, exiting here, skip this one, the next Delica, and sew through the Delica, and the next Delica and the one on the diagonal. And if you noticed, I put some blue beads on. The reason I put those on is just for reference for following rows so you can see easier. Yours are going to be all the same color. Alright, so now we're going to work with some 15-0s. Let's pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica, pick up another 15-0, sew through the 15-0, and now at this point you can put your thumb in and give it a little pull. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next 15-0, just like that. You're going to do that all the way around. So you're really just putting a 15-0 between each bead. I'll get you to the next corner, like that. Okay. Just make sure you're putting a 15-0 in between the two 15-0s here. Like that. And then continue all the way around till a couple of beads before the end, and then we'll continue. We're coming down to the end, so because it's curving now, I'm going to hold it on its side so you can see where the beads are going. So we're just continuing around, so I've come around my corner. Going through the next Delica, pick up a 15-0, and now we're going to step up. So here we're exiting here, so through the Delica. Oops, I lost, oh no, there it is, okay. Thought I lost my bead. So through the Delica and the 15-0. Now I'm going to give it a pull. And what you can do is you can pull the front thread and the back thread a little bit, just like that. I mean, you have to go crazy, but you can just pull it a little bit. So I'm just going to stop right there, and just so if you need to rewind and you're not at this point yet, you can catch up. All right, so I'll see you in a minute. Back. So let's pop the stone, and it's not going to fit. It's going to be loose, because remember, we're kind of making a square, so we have these corners we have to deal with. So this is what it'll look like. It'll kind of be sitting in there. You can give it a little pull. It's not going to stay. It's a little wonky at the moment. So here I'm going to switch my beads again, just so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. So I'm exiting 15-0 right there. So I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm going to sew through the next 15-0. That's the sticking out 15-0, like that. And then I'm going to advance my needle, so this is where I'm coming out, through the next 15-0 in the corner and the one after. So the next two beads. Going to pull the corner in, like that. Then I'm going to pick up a 15-0, sew through the next sticking out 15-0, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next one, pick up another 15-0, sew through the next one. So I have 3 15-0s on the side now. And then you're just going to advance your needle through the next two beads again. Pull, and it starts to pull it in. So you're going to do that all the way around, and then maybe back here, a few beads before the end, and we'll step up. So coming around the corner, on that 15-0, and now we're going to step up. So here, I'll do it from the side. Exiting here, skip this one, sew through the 15-0 and the 15-0 on the diagonal. Okay, so it's starting to tighten up. So now we're going to actually work with these 3 beads and on each side, so that's why I did them in pink, so you can, you will be able to see them better. So these 3, these 3, these 3, these 3. So I just want to work my way through the corner beads, so I get from this pink bead or this sticking out bead to this sticking out bead. The way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to sew through these group of beads on the diagonal, like this. So here, I'm going to sew through. So I'm exiting the pink bead. I'm going to sew through this gold bead and the bead on the diagonal. I'm going to pull, and then I'm going to sew through these 2. This is going to tighten up the corner. I'm going to pull in a little bit, and then I'm going to sew through this one and the pink one. That's going to put me in position to put some more beads on. Alright, so then I'm going to pick up, or whatever color you're using, just these sticking out beads. I'm going to pick up a 15-0, sew through the next one, pick up a 15-0, sew through the next one. Okay, so that's all you're going to do all the way around. So get that done. So here you're coming out of here, you're going to sew through, on the diagonal through these beads, put a bead here and here, etc. And then meet me a couple beads before the end and we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the last corner. So here's my pink bead. And then I'm just going to, just like we've been doing, sew through the corner beads. you know, maneuver your needle so it goes through the beads easily. I mean, if you have to go in this direction with one and then go up this way, that's fine too. You can switch to your size 12 beading needle, but ultimately I'm always going to pull a little bit towards the center once I get my beads on. So here's my last couple of beads. Just like that. Oops. Get my tail out of the way. Alright, so I have so now I've come around. Now, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to, again, maneuver through the beads, you know, sew through the beads until we come out here. And if this bead, so we can put one more bead right here. I know it's picky stuff. You don't really, I guess you could stop at this point, but I'm just going to continue. So here I go, going through. Taking pretty much my same route that I took before. You know, as I said, you can switch your needle at this point. I just want to get up to this bead right here. So here I am. I'm going to sew through this one. And I'm going to add a pink bead, or, you know, this last bead in between those two. Right there. And that's where you're going to complete each edge. So just do that all the way around, and then come on back and we'll work on the other side. See in a minute. Okay, so here I've put on my last bead, that pink one, this one right here. Alright, so now I'm just going to sew through some of the beads. So here I've sewn through the next one, and then I just want to sew my thread in. So here I'm just going to sew through this Delica, and through this one. You know, you're just going to sew everything on the diagonal, and then if you're going to, so let's see, where are we coming out of here? So through this one. And then you can reverse direction like that. Just like you do with regular peyote, so that you can sew that in. So I'm not going to continue, I'm just going to leave that for the moment. And then you're going to take your stop bead off the front. That's what the front looks like. Thread your needle, and then you're exiting a Delica here. So you want to get to the front, that front line of beads, that all the way around, so you want to sew through that 15-0. And then you're going to put on, and I'm going to stay with the pink beads, a 15-0 in between every bead. So there, here, the next Delica. Now when you get to the corner, you're going to pick up a 15-0. And you remember you have to go through this 15-0 right here to get the bead in. See? And then you're going to push it with, you can kind of press it with your finger a little bit into place. And then the next one goes through the Delica. Like that, give it a little press, and just do that all the way around. And then come on back and we'll continue. Okay, coming down to the last bead. So this one's going to go through the 15-0. It's tight, but you just have to maneuver your needle. I'm using a size 12 beading needle at this point. Give it a little pull, and then you want to also come through the next 15-0. It's kind of like your step up there. All right, and then all we're going to do at this point is I'm going to sew through this 11-0. I just want to sew my threads in. What you can do is, if you have enough thread, and see, notice how I'm just moving my thread through all the beads to sew it in. If you've got enough thread left, you can sew all the way around till you get to one of the Delicas, one of these three. That's why I did a different color, so you could, distinguish between them. One of the 3 bottom Delicas. If you're, if you have enough thread, you need about I don't know, 10 inches at least. You can do that. So I'll just show you how I'm getting there. So I'm going through, just sewing on the diagonal through all the beads. It's securing my beads. And so here I'm going to reverse direction, like that, and then I'm going to sew through this blue one right there. If you have the thread, if you have the thread from the front, you can do that, or if you have your thread from the back, you can do that. And now you're set up to put on your connecting units. So you know what? Why don't we just do that while we're here, and that way we won't have to do it later. All right, so grab a few of your 11-ohs, pick up 3 11-ohs, exiting here, just come around the other side to get that unit on. Now all you're going to do at this point is you're just going to work your way to this bead right here, the end blue one, or the end Delica of those 3 Delicas. So again, we're just doing everything on the diagonal. So here, this one, and out through this one. Pick up 3 11-ohs, exiting here, so through the other side of that bead, like that. Now I have 2 units on. Oh, and I've got like a little tiny bead right there. I wonder if I popped in an 15-oh by mistake. Don't you make that mistake. I'll fix it, but I just want to get you here. So good. Sew through the side bead, seed bead, and the top seed bead. Pick up your crystal, your 4mm, and just sew that on, just like that. So now you just have this unit ready for connecting when we're ready. Okay, so get that done. Come on back, and we'll work on the small stone. Okay, so let's get started on the small stone. So thread your needle again with about, this time you get to about 25 inches of thread. Stop bead, about a 12-inch tail. This time I'm putting on 5 Delicas and a 15-oh, 4 times. Okay. And drop those down to my stop bead. Again, I'm going to make this into a circle. Sew through that first Delica after your stop bead. Pick up a Delica. So just doing the same thing right now. Skip the next one, sew through the next one, straighten out a bit, pick up a Delica, skip the next bead, sew through the following bead, pick up 2 15-ohs, skip the 15-oh, sew through the next Delica. Just going to do that all the way around, and then we'll step up. So coming around, getting a Delica, this out of the way, 2 15-ohs. We're going to step up here, so we're exiting the Delica, skip the 15-oh, sew through the Delica, the next Delica, and the one on the diagonal. Like that. So now we're stepped up, and we're going to continue. Pick up a Delica, sew through the next Delica, pick up a Delica, and we're going to sew through the next 2 beads in the corner, so those 2 corner beads, like that. Pick up a Delica, sew through the next Delica, again. Now a Delica right through those 2, just like that. Do that all the way around. come on back a couple of beads before the end, we'll step up. Okay, coming down to the end, I've switched to the blue beads again here. So a Delica, and I'm going to sew through the 2 15-0s, pick up a Delica, and we're going to step up. So skip the next one, sew through this one, and the one on the diagonal. Just like that. Now we're going to work with some 15-0s. So pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica. Now you're going to pick up 2 15-0s, and you're going to sew through the next Delica. So you're putting 2 15-0s on top of the 2 15-0s that are in the corner. Okay? And you're just going to do that all the way around. Pick up a 15-0, sew through the next Delica, 15-0, next Delica, 2 15-0s, through the next Delica, so you're putting 2 15-0s on top of those 2 corner beads. And as you're doing this, you can pull gently. You don't have to go crazy. Put your thumb in there like that and see how it's starting to cup up? That's perfect. So do that all the way around. Meet me when you're done and we'll step up. Coming down to the end, so I'm on the 2 beads in the corner. So there. Now I'm going to step up. So I'm going to hold it to the side a little bit like this so you can see it because it's curving now. So exiting the Delica, sew through the Delica and the 15-0 on the diagonal. Give it a little pull. You can pull both sides again in the direction the thread is coming out if you like. Not too hard, it's doing just fine. So just catch up, get to that point, and then come on back and we'll put the stone in. Okay, so let's put our stone in. Okay, so that works pretty well. If yours doesn't, if it's a little bit loose, it's okay. It will all tighten up. So now we're going to do pretty much what we did on the back of the larger Rivoli. So pick up a 15-0. You're exiting a 15-0 here. And your next beads are the 2 corner beads. Remember we put 2 15-0s, like a group of 2 in the corners? So here we're going to sew through both of those. Actually, you know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to make these pink. So let me put those back. So here, pick up a 15-0, sew through these 2. Pick up a 15-0, sew through, each sticking out 15-0. Until you get to those 2 beads in the corner again. So here are the 2, pick up a 15-0, sew through both of them. Pick up a 15-0, you got it, sew through the next one. So you can do that all the way around. And here I'll just get to the next corner. So 15-0, through the next sticking out 15-0, and 15-0. So through the 2 15-0s in the corner. Okay? And just pull in a little bit. And you don't have to pull too tight. Just keep it, relatively loose. It'll all tighten up. All right, so get that done and come on back. And I'm about to step up. So here I've put on my last 15-0 here. So I'm going to step up by sewing through the next 15-0 and the 15-0 on the diagonal. Like that. And you can pull it in at this point a little bit. Should be doing fairly well. Okay, so now we're going to actually do the same thing that we did on the larger stone. This design on the back with the smaller stone. And then you'll do the front. The front is the same as the larger stone. So again, we have 3 beads on each side, and then we have the corner. Now this corner is not as defined because we, changed a little bit in order for it to fit really nicely. But it's still easy to get through and still looks really pretty. So we're exiting this pink bead, or this one of these 3 on the side, 3, 3, 3, 3. Just going to sew through those 2 side beads, those 2 corner beads, and the pink one, or the sticking out bead. And I'm going to sew through the next, put a 15-0 on, sewing through the next 15-0, another 15-0, sewing through the next 15-0, like that. And the way I'm going to get through the corner, again, easy on this one, is just by sewing through these two beads, and then through this one. And you got it. Going to put on these two 15-0s. Right there. I'm going to do that all the way around. Meet me back like a couple of beads, before, you put, right before you put these two beads on in here. And we'll continue. Okay, so I'm working my way through my last little group of 3 beads here. Where I'm going to add my 15-0. So 15-0, this guy. And 15-0 through this one. Okay, so now I have all those beads on. Now I just want to advance again through all the beads until I exit this 15-0, so I can put one here. So one here, one here, one here, and one here. So again, I'm just going to sew through these 2. And if you need to switch to a size 12 beading needle, do that. And then sew through these 2. I'm going to add that 15-0. And that just makes the design up there. So through these here, so the next 15-0 and the 2 in the corner. Up these 2. Pick up a 15-0. Put that guy on. So that's going to make our little design on the back. Get that all done, and then come on back and we'll get the front done. Okay, so done with the back. You can just sew that thread in, or if you have like a bunch left over, you can actually, sew it in a bit like we did with the other thread, and then leave enough so you can actually attach the ear wire with it if you want, or you can just do that separately. So I'm just going to leave it hanging there for the moment. So this is what it looks like. So I'm going to come around to the front. And I hope you can see this because it is kind of blends a bit much. But you're going to do the exact same thing you did with the larger stone. So here we're exiting this Delica here. I'm just going to sew through the 15-0. And I'll go pink so we get I'll just do a little bit because you already did this, so you're experts. So sew through the next Delica. Sure you don't twist it. Give it a little push. Pick up a 15-0. So through the next Delica. Pick up a 15-0. Remember, you're going to sew through the 15-0. That's going to be your next bead. You're going to sew through in the corner. Give it a pull. Pick up a 15-0 and sew through the next Delica. So you're going to do all the way around just like you did with the other one. And I do apologize that the stone was so close in color to the beads, but I think you got it from the other one. It's very, you can do the front. So here's front, back. All right, so get that done. Meet me back here and we'll connect them. Okay, we're back. So here I finished the front and I sewed my threads in. I figured we've already done that. I didn't want to get too repetitive. So here's front, back. Front and back. So let's connect the 2 pieces. So here I have this thread left over that I'm going to use for my, for my ear hook. So I'm just going to leave that. So again here I have the blue beads to show you where we're going to connect. So right there. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to connect like that. All right. So here we've already put this on previously, and I did change those beads. So here, and I'm going to be working with these 3 beads down here. So pick up an 11-0. You're exiting here. Just sew through the end Delica right there. like that. Pick up another 11/0. So I'm just going to move it around a little so I can sew better. And then I'm going to put that one, I'm going to sew it through that 11/0 right there at the top of the top seed bead of that unit. So here, this is how I'm making the unit. Pull. So for this one, through the Delica. And now you want to work your way, and I'm a little low on thread, but you want to work your way down to this Delica. So at this point, if you didn't, have enough, thread to add those units onto the bigger unit, you just would add a thread and do it. All right, so here, so I'm just working on the diagonal all the way down. And I'm going to pick up an 11/0. So through this one, it's the top seed bead of that unit. Pick up another one. So back through the Delica, right there. Now I'm going to sew through this one. I'm going to sew directly through these 3 beads right here. And what you can do at this point, so there you're connected, you can just sew through your beads again. So up this one, through the Delica, down, through these, through the Delicas again, and reinforce a bit so it's nice and sturdy. And then come on back and we'll put the ear hook on. Let's see. Okay, we're back. So I have a thread that I had left over from my small unit. I'm going to use that to sew my ear hook on. However, I often just add a thread because that way if something breaks, I don't lose the whole earring. But I'll just leave that up to you. So I'm just going to work my way around to these 2 beads, this one and this one. So I didn't put a different color bead on there, so hopefully you can see that. So you have your 2 Delicas here, 2 here, and then the one in the middle and the one in the middle. So these 2 right here. So I'm just, doesn't matter where you're coming out, just go on the diagonal till you get to one of those beads right there. Going to pick up an 11/0, my ear wire, and an 11/0. So I'm exiting this guy, just going to just sew through the other one. It's just sort of centering the ear hook here. Let me straighten it out a little bit. Here we go. I'll leave it loose so you can see the thread path. So see, that's what it looks like that. So now I have to just work my way around to get back so I can reinforce. So exiting, wherever you're exiting, I'm exiting this bead. I'm just going to sew through this one. I'm always staying on the diagonal, and this one, and I'll leave it loose. Actually, it's kind of tightening up on its own. See, just like that. Let's see if I can pull it up a little bit. Like that. And then through this one. Okay, so now I'm back at the end here. So I'm going to sew through this one. Up through this one. So I'm just working my way around to get back up there. So I'm going to sew through this one. And then through this guy. I know this is kind of crazy. And then up through these. Through this one. Back through the ear hook and the 11/0. Going back through this guy. That's going to tighten it up, and then just do that again. So there's not much thread showing. If you can get this tight in between the 2 beads, that would be good. or if you have an alternate way of putting an ear hook on. But I would reinforce that a couple of times so that it's, you know, it's nice and strong. Okay, so let's just take a quick look at our earrings. And here are our bracelets. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, I've been kind of using parts of each earring that I make because I'm so out of so many things. So here's one that I was working on here. So here you go. So here's the earring. And I do have a necklace coming up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you make these and post them on Facebook. And I will see you on the next video. Take care.